if it handles doing twists and turns and hardwood, then I would say the edge is pretty well held up pretty nice. You can see there not, but it's just hair's just flying off. And that's not a polished edge, that's fairly a rough edge. And that was another thing. Somebody was having a disagreement with me on a rough edge would not polish wood. So if you look at that wood, see the sheen coming off of that where I cut it? That is pretty much a polished cut. The only thing that I found that doesn't polish wood as you cut it is a dull edge. Now, granted, there is differences between a polished edge and a rough edge. It depends on how rough the edge you want. I mean, you can get it as rough as a saw, but that's not what I'm talking about. The teeth on my rough edges is they're microscopic. They're not visible to the naked eye. But you can see how that wood is just polished. See, the sun glints off of it. There's a lot of control. Now, this knife be something that would work well in my shop. Well, I cut a lot of leather, and it's a fairly thick blade for leather, but I'm gonna try it. I've got some leather coming up, probably next week sometime. So I'm gonna try it and see how well it does. I think it's gonna bind. Like I've done those tests, those slicing versus cutting tests on that video. But I'm gonna see how well it does. I'll probably go back to my thin, very thin. I even have one that's thinner than this that I use on leather. I'll use 3/32 full flat grinds on leather. That works a lot better for me. But just to test the knife out, I'll try it on some leather. I'm sure it will accomplish the task. It just may not be the optimum knife to use for that. And that goes with any knife. I mean, any knife will do the task that you need it to do or want it to do. It just may not be the optimum, the best knife for that task. You just need to learn how to use it. Yeah, I can see this knife being compared to as a stronger more. I think that's a pretty good comparison. It certainly wants to hog into the wood. So you just gotta really pay attention to what you're doing. So if you lay the blade over almost flat, it's really difficult to keep it on that angle because the slightest turn and you're either digging in or you're slicing out of it. So as someone very famous tends to say, you got to learn how to use the knife. Can't remember where I heard that from, but I know I've heard it. Yeah. It'll do it. It'll do it. You just have to work at it. But I tell you what, carving, there's nothing like it, carving. And this is red oak. I mean, this is dried, seasoned red oak. I mean, it's just razor sharp. Well, I am really impressed with the 01, the heat treats that I'm getting. They just hold an edge forever. I was watching a video, and I'm just rambling. It's a Sunday. I'm just going to be out here rambling. I don't even know how long this video's been going. I'm probably cutting at it here and there. But I was watching a video of a guy that came out with a new knife, and I think he's over in England or somewhere. And I say new, I mean it's basically, there's nothing new under the sun really. When it comes to knives, all of them are pretty much shaped the same, or shaped like another knife, and we just put our names on them. But he was talking about that he had been using that knife for 6 months and he had only touched it up once. I'm thinking to myself, I mean, if he really used it like he's saying, and he probably did, I mean, I'll take the guy at his word, then it must be a bear to sharpen if it holds an edge like that. But all things dull, and eventually you're going to have to sharpen it. And if it holds an edge a long time, and that means the steel is very hard, and it's going to be something else to sharpen. But I found that after trying many crucible steels and specialty steels, the S30Vs, S90Vs, and all this other stuff that's just off the charts on hardness, that I always go back to the 01, because to me the 01, and I'm talking about with my heat treating process on 01, because to be honest, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or anything, but I haven't seen 01 from anyone else that will hold up to my 01 as far as edge retention and ease of sharpening. And you know, I did the cardboard test on 01 here a month or so ago, so you can go back through my videos and look at that and see how well the 01 holds up on edge retention. But then again, just even when it starts to lose its edge, just a couple of licks on a hone or a ceramic rod or one of those little steel rods that I use a lot, and it's just right back to where it was. So the maintenance on 01 to me is a lot easier, and it's just a good all-around basic good steel. It's easy to maintain. holds an edge a reasonably long time, and you just can't ask for much more from a knife. Yeah, well, I think that knife is gonna make a good little companion knife. Yeah, I'm liking that. You guys tell me what you think about it. Oh, that reminds me. Another guy made a comment about my machete, and I've been meaning to say this again. When he said, I'm going to order one when you put it in the lineup. I mean, this is a custom shop. I mean, everything's in the lineup. If you can dream it up, it's in the lineup. If you can draw a sketch, it's in the lineup. So, I mean, I don't only do what I design them because I love knives. But that doesn't mean that's all that I make. And I say this, and I've got a lot of new subscribers, so maybe they haven't heard me say this, but this is a custom shop. If you can dream it up, I'll make it. I don't just make what I come out with, if that makes sense. You can take some of my designs and change them up a little bit to suit your needs. No problem with that. So, anyway. And when I say I'm testing a prototype, that means I'm testing it for me. I'm testing it to see whether I like it or not. That doesn't mean I'm testing it so that everybody's going to like it. I mean, you guys may look at it and say, hey, that's perfect for me, and say, I want it just like that. Which, hey, I'll do it just like that for you. Alright, well, it's enough of me rambling. I probably got 20 minutes or so on this video. I didn't want it to be that long. May have to do another, call this one a Sunday ramble. I hope you're getting something out of this. But anyway. I appreciate all your views, your comments, your suggestions, your purchases, your orders, the book orders. I've got about less than 10 books left. So if you want a book that's signed by me, The Wilderness Challenge, and there's a couple of videos back talking about the book, then hit me up on it, because like I say, I got these at a special, and I passed that discount on to you guys. So I don't know if I'll ever get another special like that or not, but I got them now. So if you want one, I have less than 10 left. So get them while the getting's good. Send me a PM or a email. Go to my website, wcknives.com, and there's a contact page, and contact me with your email address and say I want the book, and I will send you a PayPal invoice. And once that PayPal invoice is paid, I'll ship you out a book that's signed. Okay, until the next one, you guys be safe. Y'all get in the backyard, whittle on a stick. Get out of your comfort zones. I haven't played around with a Scandi in a long time, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying out a different blade that I'm not that familiar with, and see if my opinions change. And when I say Scandi, this is a variation of a true Scandi. It's not a true Scandi. It's a high Scandi with a micro bevel. So anyway, if you do get in the backyard, whittle on a stick, take a child with you. Teach that child how to whittle on a stick. If you got any around you, I don't have any children anywhere close by me, so I have to do it by myself. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to teach the children, I guess. But if you do have any children available or around you, or live in your house or have any, then teach them how to whittle on a stick. And be sure and take plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon. Bye.